She walks at the crossroads of life and death, cloaked in shadow, bearing torches to light the unknown. Hecate, goddess of witchcraft, ghosts, and hidden knowledge, has terrified mortals for centuries. Yet, she's not just feared, she's revered. In this video, we unravel the mystery of why Hecate inspires awe and devotion in equal measure. From ancient rituals to modern witchcraft, her power endures. Why is Hecate so terrifying and so loved? Stay with us as we journey into the dark and sacred depths of this ancient goddess. Why is Hecate so terrifying and so loved? To stand at the crossroads is to face choice, danger, and destiny all at once. And at those crossroads, liminal, moonlit, and laced with mystery, stands Hecate. Torch in hand, she is both guide and guardian, feared and revered, a goddess of contradictions. But how can such a figure be both terrifying and beloved? Why is it that Hecate, goddess of witchcraft, ghosts, and the moon, haunts the imagination of ancient and modern alike, not merely as a symbol of dread but as a source of solace and empowerment? The answer lies in Hecate's nature as a liminal deity, a being of thresholds, transitions, and the unseen. To love Hecate is to accept that the unknown is not just a place of terror, but of truth and transformation. Her terrifying aspects are the shadows that reveal light, her beloved traits are those that empower the outcast, the seeker, the soul in darkness. Hecate is terrifying because she reveals what we fear, she is loved because she accompanies us into it, and through it. The terrifying power of liminality. In ancient mythology, Hecate is a Titaness, older than the Olympians, granted dominion by Zeus himself over the earth, sea, and sky. But her true dominion lies not in rule over places, but over passages, especially the ones we dread to take. The Greeks placed her statues at crossroads, often with 3 faces to watch all directions at once. Offerings to her, called Hecate's suppers, were left at new moons, at boundaries between homes and the wild. She was the one who presided over transitions, birth and death, childhood and adulthood, sanity and madness, day and night. She did not cause these states, she guided one through them. And that guidance is not gentle. Because transformation never is. To encounter Hecate is to confront the truth that we live in a liminal state more often than we like to admit. We're always leaving something behind and approaching something unknown. These thresholds, between illness and health, grief and healing, fear and courage, are where Hecate waits. And that waiting is why she terrifies. Because she makes us face ourselves. In this, Hecate resembles the archetype of the crone, a figure feared not because she is evil, but because she is wise. And wisdom always costs something. 2. Mistress of magic and the dark arts. Another source of Hecate's terrifying aspect is her association with magic, particularly the kind that lies beyond sanctioned ritual and polite theology. Unlike Athena, whose wisdom shines in the halls of logic, or Artemis, whose virginity symbolizes untouchable purity, Hecate embraces the shadowy, the forbidden, the apotropaic, that which turns away evil by confronting it. As the patroness of witches, necromancers, and sorcerers, Hecate is invoked not in the light of temples but in secret groves, moonlit caves, or quiet kitchens. The spells tied to her name often involve graveyard soil, serpents, black dogs, and blood. She appears in Greek magical papyri and Roman curses, not as a malevolent force, but as the power through which human will can pierce the veil of fate. That very association frightened authorities, religious, political, and cultural. Hecate threatens social order because she represents power outside the bounds of sanctioned channels. She gives voice to the marginalized and power to the outcast. Those who call on her are often those who have no other recourse: women, the poor, the mad, the desperate. She empowers, but in ways that destabilize. That's terrifying, to institutions, to orthodoxy, even to individuals afraid of their own inner strength. And yet, herein lies the first clue to why she is loved. Hecate is not a tyrant who demands fear. She is a goddess who allows fear to be present, who accepts it, names it, and walks with those who bear it. In her presence, even the powerless are permitted agency. 3. Psychopomp and guardian of the dead. Death terrifies us. But what terrifies us more is not knowing what comes after it. Hecate, as psychopomp, a conductor of souls, plays a critical role in the underworld traditions of both Greek and Roman lore. Unlike Hades, who rules the dead, or Persephone, who is caught between seasons, Hecate moves freely between worlds. She is not bound by death. She walks through it. This capacity places her close to ghosts, spirits, and hauntings. In some myths, she howls with the dead, in others, she grants safe passage to souls. She's depicted as riding with the restless dead, attended by spectral hounds. And this is where the terror reaches its height, because Hecate not only acknowledges death, she makes us look at it. She brings the dead to us, not to torment us, but to remind us that the veil is thin, and that we, too, will pass through it. But that is also why she is loved. Because in a world that hides death behind hospital curtains and euphemisms, Hecate says, "Look. Do not flinch." And in doing so, she prepares us, not to die, but to live truthfully, knowing that time is finite and thresholds are many. She brings ancestors to our side when we feel most lost. She reminds us that we are part of something older, deeper, and ongoing. 4. Beloved by witches, women, and wanderers. If Hecate is terrifying to those in power, she is beloved by those in pain. She is the goddess of witches not merely because of spells, but because of sovereignty. Witches call on her because she grants authority over one's own body, fate, and identity. In societies where women were denied voice and power, Hecate offered both. She did not judge the wounded, the wild, or the weird. She welcomed them. Even today, in modern Neopagan traditions, especially Wicca and Hellenic Reconstructionism, Hecate is one of the most venerated deities. Her festivals are celebrated at the dark moon, and her rites include lighting torches, reciting names of the dead, or making offerings of garlic, honey, and wine. Practitioners don't invoke her out of fear, but out of respect and trust. She is the one who sees in the dark. She is the one who never flinches. In feminist and queer theology, Hecate appears not just as a symbol of resistance, but as an icon of self-sovereignty. Her triple form, maiden, mother, crone, speaks to the life stages not just of women but of the psyche. In Carl Jung's terms, she represents individuation, the process by which the self integrates its shadow, its pain, and its potential. Hecate helps the psyche cross internal thresholds, to embrace who it truly is. This, too, is why she is loved. She doesn't impose change. She offers the tools to undergo it. She doesn't prevent suffering. She walks with you through it. That companionship is rare in mythology, and rarer still in real life. It is why Hecate remains relevant, because she doesn't save you from the dark. She helps you survive it, and then become something more. The crossroads within us. At a deeper level, Hecate is terrifying and beloved because she represents the one thing we cannot escape: choice. To meet her at the crossroads is to realize that no one else can walk your path. She does not push or pull. She waits. She offers light and silence, and lets you decide. This radical freedom, existential in nature, is at once exhilarating and horrifying. Most of us are terrified of truly choosing. We fear the burden of consequence, the sting of regret, the pain of leaving paths untaken. Hecate reminds us that choice is sacred and costly. But she is loved because she does not abandon us in our fear. She remains torchbearer, watcher, companion. She teaches us that to choose is to live. That no path is ever truly wrong if it is walked with awareness. That even turning back is a kind of forward. Conclusion: shadow and flame. Hecate is terrifying because she reveals that we are always on the edge of something. We are not safe. We are not stable. Life is not linear, and truth is not gentle. She holds up the mirror of the moon and says, "Look." But she is loved because she stays when we do. In her, Darkness is not evil, it is fertile. Magic is not madness, it is possibility. Death is not an end, it is a passage. The crossroads is not confusion, it is initiation. She teaches us to carry a torch into our own depths. To honor Hecate is to honor ambiguity, transition, and courage. It is to live on the threshold, not as exiles, but as initiates. And for that, we love her. Not because she saves us from fear, but because she walks with us through it, whispering all the while, "You are more powerful than you think." Hecate stands where light meets shadow, terrifying not because she's evil, but because she holds truth without apology. She protects, empowers, and reminds us that the unknown isn't always to be feared. Whether invoked at a crossroads or honored in quiet reverence, her presence lingers through time. If you felt her mystery tonight, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Who is Hecate to you? Until next time, honor the path, trust the shadows, and walk boldly with the torch of wisdom.